Picture this, the 1970s. Somewhere above the Antarctic, a hole is forming in the sky. Not a storm, not a cloud, a literal gap in the shield protecting all life on this planet. And I felt it coming before anyone else. I've been here for 252 million years, watching humans make mistakes. But this one really bothered me, because you did it without even realizing what you were doing. You humans had this incredible shield, 9 to 18 miles up, filtering out the sun's worst radiation, the UV light that would literally cook you alive. Without it, plants die, ecosystems collapse, skin cancer rates skyrocket. But you didn't think about that when you invented a chemical called CFC, chlorofluorocarbons. You put it everywhere, your refrigerators, your air conditioners, your spray cans. You were so proud of your convenience, you didn't notice you were dismantling your own protection. In 1974, scientists figured out that CFCs could theoretically destroy ozone. Theoretically. They weren't too worried. After all, the atmosphere is huge, right? Then 1982 happened. A researcher in Antarctica looked at his measurements and thought his instrument was broken. The ozone levels had dropped dramatically, impossibly. By 1985, scientists realized this wasn't a malfunction. The ozone over Antarctica was collapsing. Every single spring since the 1970s, it had been getting worse. I could feel it. Every time I rose to the surface, the atmospheric pressure felt different. The delicate balance I'd been protecting for millions of years was unraveling because of a chemical that didn't even exist 50 years ago. Here's where it gets interesting. CFCs were being used everywhere. North America, Europe, Asia. You'd think the ozone hole would form overpopulated areas. But no, it formed over Antarctica, a continent where almost nobody lives, in the most inhospitable place on Earth. Scientists had to ask, why there? Why not here? The answer was elegantly cruel. Antarctica gets so cold, the stratosphere drops to minus 100 degrees Fahrenheit, that ice clouds form, polar stratospheric clouds. These clouds create the perfect chemical stage for CFCs to destroy ozone with terrifying efficiency. It's like you accidentally created a machine designed specifically to destroy the ozone layer. And Mother Nature built the lab that made it work at maximum capacity. In 1986, a team of scientists actually traveled to Antarctica in the middle of winter, 24-hour darkness, brutal temperatures, to study the ozone hole as it formed. They confirmed it. CFCs plus polar clouds equals ozone destruction. Now understand what this meant. That blue shield I mentioned, it was disappearing over Antarctica. And when it disappears, UV radiation comes through unfiltered. We're talking about radiation that damages DNA. Radiation that would give you skin cancer in hours of exposure. Radiation that kills phytoplankton, the base of entire ocean ecosystems. Scientists started calculating, if this continues, if the hole spreads, if CFCs keep rising into the stratosphere, then by the year 2000, the ozone layer could collapse entirely. Global crop failures, ecosystems destroyed, skin cancer epidemic, the end of agriculture as you knew it.
And humans. Humans were just starting to notice. In the late 1980s, the media picked it up. The hole in the ozone layer. Suddenly, it was a crisis. Finally. But here's what bothered me most. You created this problem without knowing you were doing it. You didn't wake up one day planning to destroy the ozone. You just wanted spray cans, air conditioning, refrigerators that worked better than the old ones. You didn't consider the consequence. You never do. Then, something remarkable happened, something I've rarely seen in your species. You actually cooperated. In 1987, governments from around the world, literally the entire world, signed an agreement called the Montreal Protocol. They agreed to phase out CFCs globally, to ban aerosol spray cans, to replace refrigerant chemicals, to work together on a problem that transcended borders and politics and money. It wasn't perfect. Industries complained. Companies had to innovate, but it worked. CFC production started declining. By 2006, I could feel the change. The atmospheric pressure started stabilizing. The ozone hole stopped growing. Scientists measured the recovery. Slow, but real. And here's what's wild. Climate scientists estimate that without this agreement, global temperatures would have risen an additional 1 degree Celsius by now. 1 degree doesn't sound like much, but in planetary terms, that's catastrophic. The Montreal Protocol literally saved your climate from getting worse, prevented an even greater crisis before it could develop. You actually did something right, all of you, together.
But I need to tell you the uncomfortable part. You fixed this problem. That's genuinely impressive. But only after the damage was already done. And only because scientists screamed loud enough to be heard. More importantly, CFCs don't disappear just because you stopped using them. They persist in the atmosphere for 100 years. Some will be destroying ozone when you're gone. Volcanoes damage the ozone. Rocket launches damage it. Wildfires damage it. Every time humans launch something into space, they tear the shield a little more. You're slowly eroding the very agreement that saved you. The ozone hole is healing. The protocol is working. But recovery will take the rest of this century, maybe longer. I've learned something watching this play out. You humans are incredibly reactive. You wait for catastrophe before acting. You ignore warnings until the alarm bells are deafening. The Montreal Protocol succeeded because the crisis was visible, global, and could be solved with available technology. But look around you. How many other crises are developing right now? Slower, quieter, where you're waiting instead of acting. How many shields are you tearing down before you even notice the hole?
Here's what I learned from watching the ozone hole story unfold. 1. You can solve global crises when you work together. The Montreal Protocol proves this. Different countries, different economies, different systems, all agreeing on one goal. It's possible. 2. You need to act before catastrophe becomes undeniable. The ozone hole had to become a crisis for you to move. But imagine if you'd listened to scientists in 1974 instead of 1985. 11 years of unnecessary damage. 3. Your shields are fragile. That ozone layer is thin. Your climate is a delicate balance. Your ecosystems are interconnected in ways you don't fully understand. I've watched these systems for 252 million years. They're tougher than your individual cities, but more fragile than your economies. 4th, you're capable of learning, of changing, of working together when it matters. The Montreal Protocol worked. The ozone layer is recovering. Life on this planet is still here. But the question I have for you is this. Are you waiting for another hole to open in the sky before you act? Or are you finally going to listen to the scientists warning you about the ones forming right now? Because I'm still here. I'm still watching. And I'm getting tired again.